3 years ago, on February 24, 2022, Russia launched a full scale invasion of Ukraine. What was expected to be a swift victory for Moscow turned into a prolonged war. Ukraine fought back with the support of its Western allies, but at a steep cost, losing land, lives, and stability. Now, with US President Donald Trump pushing for a quick resolution, the war has entered a new, uncertain phase. America's support, which has been crucial for Ukraine's defense, is now at risk. So, where does Ukraine stand today? Let's break it down. Since the invasion began, Ukraine has managed to push Russian forces back from Kyiv and reclaim some areas in the northeast and south, but heavy losses in the east, particularly in Donetsk and Bakhmut, have reshaped the battlefield. Ukraine has lost 11% of its land since 2022. If we count the land lost since 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea and took parts of Donbas, the total territory under Russian control is now 18% of Ukraine. Putin's goal was to seize all of Ukraine in days. Instead, 3 years later, the war is still ongoing with no clear end in sight. Since 2022, the United States has provided $95 billion in military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine, making it the country's largest supporter. But Trump has repeatedly criticized this funding. Throughout his 2024 campaign, he called for a transactional approach, suggesting Ukraine should give the US access to rare earth minerals in exchange for continued aid. President Zelensky has rejected this idea. In a recent interview, Trump said, and I quote, "We have to get something. We can't continue to pay this money." End quote. The US has already frozen some funding. Key USAID programs in Ukraine have been suspended, forcing NGOs to cut staff and shut down essential services, including suicide helplines and HIV detection projects. With US support uncertain, Ukraine's war effort could face severe financial and military challenges in the months ahead. The war has displaced millions of Ukrainians. Some have relocated to other parts of Ukraine, while others have fled abroad. Today, over 6.3 million Ukrainian refugees are living in Europe. The largest numbers are in Germany, 1.2 million, Poland, nearly 1 million, Czech Republic, 390,000. Even Russia has 1.2 million Ukrainian refugees, according to UN estimates. Inside Ukraine, cities remain devastated and millions struggle to survive in war-torn regions. The war has been deadly. Over 40,000 civilians have been killed or injured in Ukraine, according to the UN. Many of these deaths were caused by explosive weapons and airstrikes. The UN reports that at least 6,203 men and 669 children are among the dead. Every day, the death toll rises and the humanitarian crisis worsens. With Trump pushing for a peace deal with Ukraine at the table, Kyiv is facing an uncertain future. Ukraine still holds out hope for Western support, but with Russia controlling nearly a fifth of its land and millions of people displaced, the road ahead is tough. Will Ukraine be able to hold its ground, or is the war entering a new and dangerous phase? The next few months could decide the fate of the conflict.